Good morning. We are out here at Shelly Hall's residence. I have no idea where we are, west of Green Cove Springs area. We're far from where we're used to working. So you can see behind me, massive elevation change in this backyard. She's right on a little river here, and she actually has a little mini natural bottom pond of her own. So this job, Jason came out initially and met her. She had a pre-existing stream running down the right side of her property all the way down on the outside of her bulkheads that another contractor put in, and it served solely as just to collect and move rainwater. So her property drains super fast. We had videos that she sent us of what kind of volume of water we were talking about when it starts heavy downpour, and it's quite a lot. It's a lot more than I think both of us expected. Over the years, there's just number of washout points, vegetation's grown over. She kind of has this mixed match pile of rock everywhere. It's just, it needs to be redone. It needs a facelift. It needs to be done properly because it wasn't able to hold the amount of volume that was coming through there. So it was actually diverting water in areas where the homeowner didn't want it to go. It was eroding some of this grass line here that we see behind me. We're starting from scratch, all new liner. We're bringing in a lot larger rock just with all this elevation change. We're gonna make one closed system. We're not tying into the pond or anything. We're gonna make just a massive pondless waterfall for her with a couple neat things that we're gonna add on to it. So this is the grade I think we're gonna set our aqua block basin in, the bottom of our pondless waterfall feature with a pump stored and everything. This is where it's going to end here. Now we still have another, 30 foot to the edge of the pond. What we're gonna do for design principles, so of course all of our stream is gonna come down that elevation up top on the right side where the old stuff was. It's gonna stop here, but we're going to actually continue a dry creek bed into her natural bottom pond. The purpose of that solely, once the rain starts shedding off the very top of her property down that side, we're gonna have to, it's gonna be tricky. I think what I'm gonna do is create almost a waterfall for just the rainwater to come in to the very top and start of our pondless waterfall. And then it's gonna be able to go through our pondless waterfall system. Now when this overflows our basin, it's going to be able to carry all the way to her pond. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make it look like all once when it's pouring down rain and she has all this stuff shedding off her property, it's going to look like one massive system going into her pond. That's what we're going for. So that's where we're at here. This is kind of where the basin's going, and we're doing this higher up. We're not going to put it all the way down there just for groundwater issues. We don't want to start digging in mud and having the liner bubble up and everything. So, we're a good 4 foot, maybe higher than everything else around here, which is perfect. Now this area, there's actually, let me pull some of this stuff back. You can start seeing some of her rock. Now the liner, her old liner ends right up there, but you can see this massive washout here and just the rocks kind of thrown down in there. We're gonna widen this out. This point here is only 12, 16 inches wide. Very small, not enough for the amount of water that sheds off her property. So we're gonna widen this out. We're gonna be able to do some directional changes in the stream, beef it up a lot. We're bringing in large Tennessee River rounds with, I think, a mix of field on this one. And of course, we're gonna reuse all of her smaller stuff as well. Just climbing up, we're gonna have just series of large cascades because just climbing up right here, I'm probably already 10 foot higher, than I was 20 feet down that way. And it's just this constant hill. So for a Floridian pond builder / waterfall builder, this is gonna be really fun because usually we're doing the opposite. We're bringing in the dirt to make the hill, and bringing in this much soil to make something like this in a flat yard is ridiculous. I've never done that. So the grade here really warrants some very dramatic, tall waterfalls. I mean, you can see this isn't the EPDM liner that we use there's just like, I don't know. There's just random stuff everywhere. There's pieces here and there. There's stuff folded on top of each other. A bunch of small cobbles that just probably, I'm sure it looked nice once it started, you know, once it was first installed, but over the years it just ends up with these awkward collection points of cobbles and what have you. All this vegetation's coming out, and we're just gonna keep climbing this hill with massive, epic earthworks waterfalls. I'm gonna try to climb up to where this thing's going to start. So it gets a little weird in here because her septic is actually right there. So a lot of this, you know, machine access, that's a big no-go. We can't drive anything large on top of it. But we have access to bring a dingo in this way, so I might be trying to place a couple larger boulders up there. And we're gonna start this thing, let me think. Hop around here. I think right in this area is gonna be the start of it. So Jason and I were thinking, we came out here, they have a nice balcony there. If we were to get a cool waterfall coming in here, shooting that way, give them, you know, a nice waterfall presence to look at, and then having this thing turn right in. So everything behind me, this is all original dry creek bed on the liner. Oh, and one more thing about the dry creek down there, we are going to use liner. It's going to be a rubber line dry creek bed. We've built them before just with like underlayment and stuff like that, but this one's going to be rubber for future. If she wants to make one big massive system tying into her pond down there, we have the material already in place. So a lot of this is going to stay the same. And then this area, this is where I'm going to have to get creative and create a super wide, nice, you know, entry point for all the runoff from her property coming into this and then tying into our water feature. And again, with the rubber liner, I'm gonna leave a pretty good section. We're gonna tuck and disguise it, but in case for future use, she wants to add on, we can unfold that and do an overlap and seam to tie in that top section there. Huge, I mean, this is probably, you know, 20, 30 feet elevation change from top to bottom. This is definitely the highest one I've worked on so far, so challenges just keep on rolling, you know, all this new stuff coming my way. I'm all about it. And this is what I'm talking about with the elevation change. I'm standing at least 20 foot higher. Overall, it's going to be an incredible showcase piece for sure. Today, number one, our goal is, you know, we're getting our bearings straight. We have some awkward access. We're lucky enough to use the neighbor's yard to come in through our gate with our machine work. And we have a rental coming, a rental excavator a little bit bigger to give us some reach with the larger boulders, because the furthest we can bring our rental excavator is going to be right up into this nook here. So hopefully we can get some massive stuff set up top there. There's going to be some tricky, everything about this project is going to be tricky, just access, positioning, this huge slope that we got to work with. We're going to take it nice and slow and stay safe and, I don't know, work fast at the same time. I don't know, but it's going to be one heck of a project, I'll tell you that.